Happy video day, guys. Christina, Brooke here. Today we are doing my 5-day challenge, and the 5-day challenge for this week is the Nouveau palette, and this is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. So it has so many beautiful colors in it. I have been dying to put this to the test, and I did. I used this for 5 days straight. Actually 6 days if you count the day of the review, but I have used every color. I have tested them. I have some thoughts. So in today's video, what I do is I force myself to use this palette for 5 days straight to give it to you guys straight and tell you exactly what I think of this palette. So yeah, we've got a lot to run down. I'm gonna go ahead and start getting into all the eye looks. If you have purchased this palette, I wanna know down below, do you think I'm going to love it or do you think that I'm going to hate it? I wanna know that right now, so go ahead and comment that down below, and let's go ahead and let's get into it. But don't forget to hit subscribe, join the family, especially if you like these 5-day challenges. Try to give them to you as many times as I can with a bunch of different eyeshadow palettes. So let's start off with day number 1 right now. Good morning, guys. So today is day number 1 of 5-day challenge with the Nouveau palette from Anastasia. So today what I did for my eyes is I just used this color called Floor here all over the lid. And then I just grabbed the color Belle, which is like a metallic, and I just put it lightly and deepen out the outer edge with Liberty, which is this green. I put the KVD brown liner. My lips are Cam from Makeup by Mario mixed with a Natasha Denona lip liner with the Forget the Filler on top. So today's look is really casual because today's Father's Day and I'm actually going to the beach. So I didn't want to do anything too much, so I wanted to use the palette today to see if it can do more casual looks, and I think it does, because if you guys can see the look, it's very neutral, it looks really good, and it's not like very, very dramatic, which is what I wanted. So day number 1 is a success. Day number 2, we'll get into something a little bit more dramatic. But anyways, see you guys tomorrow. All right, we are on day number 2 of my 5-day challenge, and we're gonna do a fun look today. Let's see what we're gonna play with. So, what should we do? I kind of wanna use this color Hope. I wanna use this color Muse. Kind of wanna play with Metro, which we know is one of the risque colors because it probably could irritate my eyes because it is a pigment. Maybe it won't. Let's hope it doesn't. I also wanna play with Wisteria. This little area here and add some of this. Let's play. Let's just go with it. I don't know what we're gonna do. We're just gonna go. I'm gonna start off with Metro. I'm really hoping it doesn't irritate my eyes, but you guys will find out tomorrow. Ooh, that's pretty. So it's a beautiful color. Oof, I hope this doesn't irritate me because I love that color. It's gorgeous. Blending really nice. Really cool. Okay, so let's grab the color Muse. We're gonna do like a gradient smoky eye for fun. Let's hope this works. Let's grab into Muse and let's put that on the lower portion of the eye. And then let's grab the color Hope and let's like blend it upward. Let's see if we could do like a little gradient there. It's interesting. Not exactly what I thought I was going to come out with, but it works. Cool. Okay, so I want a tight line with the color Wisteria, which is this bright color. How pretty is that? Hopefully that looks so cool. All right, nice. So let me do some blending action, finish off this eye, and show you guys what the final result is. Okay, so here we go. This is the final look. I love this eye look. Oh my goodness. I'm kind of obsessed with this color right here called Hope. This is my favorite color right now. This is phenomenal. Honestly, don't think I'll mix these two together again. I just love this color. I don't know, maybe I will mix them together again, but I really wish that this was a matte brown. instead of like for it to have some shine. I really feel like if that color would have been matte, it would have been like astronomical, like astronomical. Astronomical. I think it would have been so much better if this was just a matte brown, but I love this color. I think that this eye look came out beautiful. Really, the color Metro right here, such a gorgeous color. I really hope it doesn't bother my eyes, and I really like putting that lavender on the lower lash line. So how I finished it off was I used the Anastasia Beverly macro blade in the purpley color on the lower lash line. Rare Beauty mascara. My lip color right now is Sammy from Natasha Denona, and that's kind of how I finished this off, and I think it came out so good. I'm really obsessed. I'm gonna film another video tonight just because I love this look so much. So anyways, yeah, I think that today was a success. Hey guys, day number, not even sure, 3 or 4. And today I just did a really casual look using the Nouveau palette. So let me show you guys what I did. So what I did was something I like to do sometimes for like very natural day looks. I mixed a bunch of colors together. So I mixed Isle with a little bit of Belle and a little bit of Lily. So these 3 kind of neutral metallics, I mixed them all over the lid. So it created like kind of like a really cool, very light but airy, but it still looks like a statement on the eyes. Hopefully you could see it, but in person you could see it a lot. I have a black liner from KVD, and on my eyeshadow I have this, the Double Trouble from Essence. Whenever I go somewhere that there's going to be water, I always put waterproof. And then my lips are very Victoria, and I actually have on the Rare Beauty foundation again, so it's been a while. So this is my look. I'm going for a casual day today. We're going over to the beach for a few hours, just to relax there by the water, and that's my look. So I'll see you guys in the next day. All right guys, so we are on day number 3, 4, one of the 2. We'll figure that out once I put this video together. It's either 3 or 4, okay? And today we're going to do a fun look. We're going to do something a little bit more dramatic. I actually have to film 2 videos today. I'm trying to catch up. Yeah, I think I'm going to do 2 videos today. I'm not 100% sure, but whatever. We're going to do like at least 2 videos today. So we'll do something fun, very pretty, attractive for the camera. I don't even know what I'm going to do, to be honest, but let's play with Peacock. Why not? Let's do something very crazy on my lid so I may hate it for the next 2 videos. Good idea, Christina. But we're going to do that. We're going to play with Peacock because this is that shifty shade. I've been kind of putting it off using it because I'm not a huge shifty shade girl. I like to know what my eye look's going to look like and stick with that. And I feel like shifty shades, they shift so much that I don't know which shade it's going to end up looking like. So, but whatever, we're going to do that. So let's go ahead and let's just get Peacock and let's just put it on the lid. Let's just see what we're working with here. So I'm just going to lay that. Oh, that's actually kind of pretty. Ooh, feel that smooth. Oh God. Anastasia's texture that she released with this new palette is so much better than her original one. That is something I am definitely noticing. Now, another thing I'm also noticing is while I'm putting down this shade, I'm actually really inclined to put down one of these, actually more this one or this one, because it's shifting into kind of like a peachy shade and almost makes me kind of want to put that with it. You know, I don't know if you guys can see the little shift that it's doing. Actually, it's not that bad, but do you see how like if you shift your eye, you kind of like start seeing the darkness, so it just depends on where you put it. It's interesting, but they kind of annoy me at the same time. Still stand by the annoyance of those shades. I think what I'm going to do is let's grab a brush and let's kind of just grab this color Fleur, whatever. Let's put that on the top. You know, this palette, it's starting to remind me so much of the Climax palette and also of the Huda Beauty Khaki Obsessions. Like there's just parts of this that just like give me those vibes. And like right now, what I'm doing with my eyes, it's reminding me so much of something that I just finished doing with the Climax palette from NARS, this one. I just did something so similar to this with this palette using this blue. So it's reminding me of that palette. And you guys know I love that palette. It's like one of my favorite color stories in the universe. And look, the sun's going down. Once it starts going down, I'm gonna have to move this light a little bit. But anyways, back to the eye look. So we're just gonna go ahead and put that like so. I'm gonna go back over with this shifty shade because I did kind of eat it away a little bit. So funny, I almost feel like I don't even need to do too much. Like, it's like kind of like a completed look right there. But I do want to play a little bit more. But here's the thing. You see, same thing. I kind of want this to be a matte. I'm gonna use it again as a matte because I don't want to put green with this. Yeah, I don't want to put green. I kind of want to put brown, but it's a shame that it's a metallic. Or it's kind of like a satiny color. I mean, it's already kind of doing that effect on its own without me having to add the little bit of lift that I like to put. And I only do this because my eyes go a little bit more downward, and I really love to add a little lift to the end of eye looks to kind of just make my eyes go up, you know, so I kind of like fake that. I do still wish there was a matte brown. Okay, so we're gonna grab into this color here, Floor, put it on the lower lash line. It's kind of like mimic what we did on the top on the bottom. And I actually am gonna tight line. Yes, I am. Which I want. Okay, I'm gonna grab this peacock shade and I'm gonna actually put it down here. That doesn't look that bad. Actually, it's kind of pretty. Let's blend it. You grab into this color Isle. Add it in the inner portion. Oh, I already know what I'm gonna do for my next look. I know what I'm gonna do. And there we go. 1 minute, liner, mascara, finish the other eye. I'll show you guys the final look, and I think this one's gonna come out pretty, so I'll be right back. And there we go, finished look. Look at that. Ooh, I like this look too. I think I've been having very successful looks with this palette. I'm very, very excited. So I don't like shifty shades, but I have to say this one's actually not bad. It's not that bad because I like the shift. So it goes into kind of like a brownish pinky tone. And because of the tones in the palette and what I used today, they actually look really, really pretty together. And it kind of just does that natural kind of gradient for me. You know, just kind of when I turn my eye like this, you'll start seeing it darker in the inner portion, which I don't love, but I have to say I love the look. So I love this look. I think it looks really, really pretty. It's not an extreme shifty shade, but it does do a little shift, but I actually love the little glitters in it. It's all of these gorgeous glitters. Oh, I wish you guys could see this in person. If you own it and you've seen this peacock shade, I wonder if you think that those glitters are kind of spectacular as well. Loving the way the whole eye look came out. I ended up using Rare Beauty mascara. Lower lash line is KVD. It's the black liner. I smudged it. On the top line, I also have the KVD liquid liner. Very thin line. Beautiful. Lip combination is spectacular. I love this lip combination. This is Cam from Makeup by Mario. But it also has the Forget the Filler from Lawless on top. That's the way I make that color work for me because the color on its own is just way too dry. But when you mix in the Forget the Filler, it like transforms that lip formula into something spectacular. So yes, very successful day. I am very excited to film my next 2 videos because I think my eye makeup looks good. So that is also a positive. So I'll see you guys in the next day. All right, so we are on day number 5 of my 5-day challenge using the Nouveau palette. Nouveau. Look, I said it correctly. I keep calling it the Nouveau palette because it sounds like new palette in Spanish, Nuevo, but it is Nouveau, right? I don't know. Anyways, we're using the Nouveau palette. Okay, so I am going to, what colors have I not used? Oh, God, I need to use this one here. Used it. I feel like I've used almost every single one of these colors except for like this Paloma color. So today what we'll do is we're gonna do something with this color on the outer V. We'll try to, or actually, you know what, maybe we'll do Liberty on the outer V, kind of play with that kind of look, and then maybe a little Hope, do something green. With a little bit of this on the outer, on the inner portion. Maybe we'll do that. I always come up with these ideas and then I don't follow them. So ignore what I just said 2 minutes ago because I may not do that, but we're gonna do something. I'm gonna start off the lid with the color Floor. I'm gonna put that all over. I actually really like this color. It's probably my favorite one for all over the lid work, like kind of just like blending it as a all over shade. I think it's really, really pretty. It adds a little bit of a something. Let's bring this down a little bit because it's a little bit too bright in here. So we're gonna go ahead and blend that all over. Let's grab into Liberty. Let's put that on the outer. Just kind of blend that. Then let's grab a little bit of Hope. Okay, then I'm gonna grab this color Paloma, which is also a pigment, so hopefully it doesn't destroy my eyes. We're gonna just put that here. Ooh, that's pretty for being a white. It actually does a lot. How pretty is that? What a cool lid. Okay, I like that. I'm just gonna grab the color Liberty. Tight line that under the lid. Yeah, look, I've got a lot of lines in my eyes today. Cool. And then I think I'm gonna blend it out with my favorite color so far to blend things, which is Floor. I really like this one. And I think that's all we're gonna do. Liner, mascara, finish off these eyes. I'll show you guys the final look. All right, so here is the final look, and I love it a lot. I honestly have to say that white, ooh, that really was impressive. It is just really bold, and it was bright, and it really covered really well. Like, I really like that white, which I'm kind of shocked because it was one of the ones that I was scared of using. I'm still scared of using it because it is a pigment, but either way, it looks really, really nice. So let me zoom out and give you guys my final verdict on this palette. All right, so we are at the end of the video and our 5 days are over. And I have to say though, I think that this was one of my most successful 5-day challenges. I really enjoyed using this palette. I think it was absolutely stunning, but I have to give it to you guys straight when it comes to the palette. I believe it's unique. I don't think it's anything super, super unique. Like, I do believe that if you own the NARS Climax palette, you're not getting the same looks, but you can create a very similar concept. You got the blues, you got those greens. There's actually pretty much a lot of the colors that are very similar in this palette. And actually this palette is just a tad bit better in the sense that it has this really dark, rich, matte brown, which I feel like it was missing here. They give us this metallic brown, which is good, but I wanted one more deep matte in this palette, which I feel like they kind of missed out on not including. And there's also the palette from Huda Beauty, which I think that this one's very similar as the Khaki Obsessions. You guys see the similarities between those two. There is a lot of similar colors between the two. A lot of the main eye looks that I like to create with this, I could also create with this palette. Now, there is missing colors. These are not identical, but I would say, like, it's not like it's extremely, extremely unique in that sense. When it comes to the formula, this formula, in my opinion, is probably one of Anastasia's best formulas. The metallics in here glide like butter. They're very, very pigmented. You do get a little bit of fallout. If you're somebody who doesn't like fallout, metallics do give you a little bit of fallout. I don't really care about that, but I know people ask. I think for the most part, the mattes don't give you much fallout. It's actually pretty good. And I like the overall concept. I like the overall direction. I actually really like the purple also. It was really cool to incorporate that. Now, when it comes to the pigments, you guys know I am not a huge fan of pigments. I hate it when they put pigments in palettes because I have sensitive eyes that do get affected by pigments. And if you're new, you don't know what a pigment is. A pigment basically is just a certain type of eyeshadow that in the United States and not in every country, they deem it to not be eye safe. And that's just because there's ingredients in the pigments that could irritate your eyes. Some people get irritated eyes. Sometimes it could stain your lids. It just depends on you. For me, sometimes when I use pigments, my eyes the next day feel very dry on the inside and I have to use eye drops. So I know I'm kind of allergic to something in pigments, But it doesn't happen with every pigment. I do believe that anytime that there's a pink or a red, I stay away from them. Like those I know will irritate my lids, but these colors I was questioning. I will tell you that I used Metro and I did not feel the strong irritation that I would have felt if it would have been a different brand. It was not exact like an eyeshadow. I didn't have like a real irritation. My eye was a little bit sensitive, but definitely not anything noticeable, okay? Of course, I'm like thinking of it, right? Also the same with this one. I actually use this on the lash line, which is dangerous for me. I used to not like to put pigments at all on the lash line, and I didn't feel anything. Now, would I do it again? Maybe not, just because I'm so nervous of having my eyes feel super dry the next day that I probably would try to use it all over the lid next time and just see how that goes, but not put it so close to the lash line. Now for this one, I actually used this one today and I put on the inner portion. I don't feel anything now. Usually it'll be after I take off my makeup and I wake up the next morning, I could feel like a little bit of irritation, but I have a feeling, I could probably say from now, that I may not have an irritation to these pigments. But Anastasia has created palettes that have irritated my eyes, especially the Riviera palette. That one I couldn't use some of like the pinks and stuff. So no, not for me. No, it didn't irritate my eyes, but still I'm very cautious with using pigments. So the pigments in here are this one, and this one. Okay, so this white, Metro, and the lavender are all pigments. I wish they weren't, okay? So I feel like I'm gonna get less use out of this palette because I know they're pigments, and in my brain I'm gonna say, do you really wanna use it? Because it could irritate your lids even though it didn't the first time you used it. I'm probably gonna stay a little bit away from it. So that's a negative for me. The rest of the color is beautiful, color scheme, gorgeous. I think it's a beautiful palette, and I think a lot of people don't get bothered by the fact that there's pigments if you're not bothered by that. This is gorgeous. The eye looks, 1, 2, 3. Like I think every day the eye looks were super pretty, and thing that I really like is that I feel like I was able to create looks that I felt very comfortable with wearing during the day, and it gave me enough drama to really amplify the looks for nighttime. So that's a positive thing. So I do think it's an absolutely stunning palette. I do really, really like it. Do I think it's like super unique? It's not. But this is the direction that I hope a lot of brands start going for, at least for August, because I love these greens. I do feel like brands are not giving us greens, but I think this year we're gonna see a lot. I'm actually excited to see what Natasha Denona does. I hope her Retro 2, which is gonna be coming out hopefully for winter. I'm hoping that that palette is something like this, but gives us a little bit more with richer browns and really incorporates some cool metallics. But for Anastasia, I think this is a really, really pretty palette. I really like the color Peacock. You guys saw I'm not a huge fan of shifty shades, and this one was okay. So yeah, overall, consistent, pretty palette, beautiful looks. Loved every single one of the looks. I'm definitely gonna continue to use, especially the colors that I feel comfortable using a lot, and I liked it. So I liked it. I think that it was very consistent, very good quality. If you like this palette and you like the looks that I created, I would say it's worth it. Definitely has good quality. I'm definitely gonna give it an approval, but I don't like the fact that it has pigments. I'm still gonna stick to that. So anyways, I hope you really enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.